about the three? I still say the further away from the basket you are, the better you shoot.
I agree, actually. I think I get excited, and I start letting that thing go. I keep hitting the back of the rim, and I'm like, man, I need to back up. But
That last one was just like, that was finally one that, because they wouldn't go away.
I think we ran a double drag, and we saw the look they gave us in the first half. They kept messing it up, so I saved it late game play. If we needed a shot, we take it down to 12 seconds a lot. And it was going to be a close game, so we went to that twice, I think, in a row.
You just
Two good
said
looks
when
off
you
it.
let go, did you say that looks
I was smiling. I knew that's the best shot. I think that's the best my shot has felt all game. So I was smiling when that shot went up.
How about the emotion after that? Obviously, a tight game, but you were a little fired up after that one.
Yeah. It's a conference game. I knew down the stretch we needed some energy, and we got a big stop. I thought we had the shot clock violation. I called a timeout. I was super amped up after that, super amped up after hitting a good shot. I wasn't shooting well in the first half, so a lot of emotion going through me when I, finally step up to the plate for my team in this game.
Keep on 20 points tonight.
Yes, sir.
You really kind of sunk into a nice little rhythm. Like, what do you think?
Yes, it's just listening to Coach Dan, being coachable, discipline, disciplining my game, fitting into where I fit in with, the rest of the guys and just playing my role and stepping up when I need to.
Called upon a lot in that first half with Nate on the bench and some foul trouble. Did you kind of feel that was your moment?
Yeah, I was just trying to be aggressive, keep them on their heels. They're an aggressive team. They want to get up under us. They want to push us out, so we got to be aggressive back, so that's what we did.
How about your drive to the basket? The shot clock's running down, and all of a sudden you just take off to the basket and lay it. I mean, that's huge at that point.
Oh, yeah, Coach Dan was like, go. I was like, okay, Shayla, so I just went to the basket.
It opened up.
Yeah, it opened up. I thought the defender was going to slide over, but he bit on the Euro step, and I got the reverse lay. So
it was in the corner, too.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to help.
Yeah, and also it helps when he's in the corner, because if they leave him, I'm kicking it out to him for three.
How big was that stop, the shot clock violation? Because of all the big shots you made, that really got the crowd got as loud as it did when you hit a three. Just think of how big that possession was to get you, I think, maybe a 4 or 6 point lead again.
Yeah, they were spreading us out. They're a good team. They got good shooters, and two guards that start that are really good. One-on-one, they can make step-back threes or three-level scores, and they got two off the bench that do the exact same thing. So they're steady, fresh bodies, coming at you with the dribble, and it's really hard. We switch everything, so we know that's the weakness of our defense. And I think it was just a pivotal moment because the bigs stayed in front of the guards. They kick it back out. There's 10 seconds, I think. Ball gets knocked loose. They're going out the three-point line. They're about to shoot a fadeaway three. We thought we got the stop, and I thought we knew we were going to score when we got the ball back. We knew the plays that worked. And we've always went down the stretch and at home and came out with a win. So I think that was a pivotal stop. I think his bucket was the biggest bucket of the game, and that stop was the biggest stop of the game.
That mentality that you just kind of talked about. We knew we were going to score. We knew we were going to get a stop. Coach has talked a lot about that and how that was missing at the first part of the season. Do you kind of feel that you've got that now? That's for both of you.
Well, he's probably used the word resolve like 4,000 times since the start of the season. So it's ingrained in our heads that we got to have that mentality. And it's every guy on the court. We're sitting there. We give each other high fives. Every free throw, like, come on, we need to stop. We need to stop. We need to stop. And all five guys played their heart out in that possession. Their mentality was, I'm taking pride on not letting anyone beat me. And that's the mentality you got to have down the stretch to win these games.
Yvonne, how about down the stretch? 8 free throws, just like Texas. You made 8. That's all of a sudden you make them. You win.
Yeah, ultimately.
All of them switch to new, bouncing around, whatever. It's just tickle the twine and boom.
Yeah, it's just, like you said, resolve, getting up there and making, going to the free throw line with confidence, knowing that you're going to knock it down and close out the game. Sometimes it's tough up there by yourself at the end of the game, but you have to, lock in and be focused and make the shot like Coach Dan always tells us in practice.
Everybody talks about how the Sun Belt's tough. Is that kind of the definition of a tough Sun Belt team? They come in with 2 wins on the year, but are better than their record might show.
Yeah, we were told not to look at the record. That when we watch film, I know I watched their last game. I was like, they beat Southern Miss by 21 because they shoot the ball really well. And I don't know, they made some changes in the middle of the season or something. I don't know what happened, but That group is together and they play really hard. They play a good defense, and they played 10 guys and they all play hard. So you got to match that energy 40 minutes a game.
Last one from me. Back to work Saturday. Another conference game, and put that undefeated record on the line again.
Protect home court.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it.
Well, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
There you go. That was a high-level ball game. You know, you saw some shots that were made by them, especially the NBA arena. Go watch Golden State. You know, they put them up there and make them, and they're young and they play hard. It's a good team, and you know our crowd is a real help for us. But we also our crowd gives the team that we're playing probably their best game because they're used to coming in here, maybe 600 people in the fans and stands, and it's quiet. And now all of a sudden it's the NBA Finals, so you're getting their best shot too. So I was proud of our young men. You know, stayed in behind most of the way and got around the 6-minute mark, started getting a little separation, not much. And then we made a couple key mistakes. We got to try to make sure we correct on that. But overall, I hope our fans enjoyed the game. Win or lose. Win or lose. You come, you enjoy it. That's a great atmosphere. And I'm 76, and it's fun. You know, I hope I saw one guy my age over there, and he was jumping up and down. I said, man, still got life in us, don't we? So, you know, I was happy to see the band was great. I thought the music on the outside was outstanding to create an atmosphere. We really do a great job when we apply ourselves into putting on a good show. And our fans, be Marshall fans. Come win, lose, or draw, you're here. And it's a fun venue. Why not?
You know, big game from Kevon tonight. Had some big shots, but yeah, how about the effort down the stretch? Started with Kerfman's 3, and then you get a couple big defensive stops that kind of created that separation you talked about.
It's funny if you watch, and I'm sure y'all probably see it too, but Kerfman hunts that last shot. You know, he wants it. So that's always good when you got a shooter that wants that last shot. So you could see it in his eyes. Give it to me. You know, I'm gonna make that shot. And he does a lot of times. You know, he'll miss with some every now and then, but you know, you can't fault the young man for putting himself in a position to win and saying, I can do it. And I tell him that's one of the things that's in our locker room. You got to dare to be great. You know, it ain't easy. A lot of people think they're not great because they're afraid to be great. And you know, if you miss, you're going to get blamed, and some people worry about the blame instead of being positive. And that's my life lesson too. I said, you know, listen, this life is about living it and enjoying it, and not to have a positive attitude and think you can't do something. And don't be your own defender. You know, if you don't soar to high heights, it's because you're just not flapping your wings hard enough. Flap them. Don't be afraid to get out there and do what you want to do and enjoy. So you can see that in Kerfman. Kevon is getting more solid. He made a couple of mistakes that we got to look at and try. But you know what? A young man comes up to him, and I asked him, I said, how do you think you're fitting in now? He said, well, Coach, I'm learning a lot more discipline in the game than I've ever had. And our game looks chaotic, but if you come to our practices, you'll see that's the secret. And I coined that back in Socastee, that we're organized chaos. You know, we play with an organization. It looks chaotic to fans who don't understand it, but it's really an organized effort. And, you know, Nate was Nate, and Obina, for all you free throw shooter gurus, I didn't do it. O did it himself. You know, we practice him like normal, but I'll give him all the credit. Stepped up and hit some big free throws, and that's what you do. That's what good players do.
8 for 8 down the stretch.
Obina?
No, it's the game.
Our team. Our
Our
team.
team. You make him, you win, you miss him, let him hang around.
Can I get credit for that, for practicing and showing them? I told them, keep your elbow in, get off it. No, they go out there. That's a mental part of it. And you know what? I don't control them mentally. I can help. What we do is present them a positive atmosphere. And when that positive atmosphere, then they have to seek the greatness, and all the credit goes to them. So I thought they did a good job of focusing and making sure that, you know, if you're going to be a good team, you got to make big shots. And you can't sit there and say, oh, the pressure's on me. Well, okay, so what? Make it, you know. So anyway, I thought they did well. And like I said, that team was they won their last 2 out of 3. They're a little deceptive about how, because that ball game was played at a high level.
You know, Nate obviously in foul trouble there in that first half after two personal fouls. I thought Marco came in and played some really good minutes.
You know, Marco's okay. The thing about Marco and Wyatt, which I wish they can both shoot. I wish they would just make a few, but and they got to make it more often. And it's hard. What they got is hard because they only get 2 or 3 shots in a game. You know, sometimes, I mean, if you're getting 10, you'll probably get to your average most of the time, whatever you are. But when you're just shooting 1, 2, and 3, that's hard. Okay, I've said it's hard. Now they got to do it. It doesn't matter. They have to do it. And they got to make sure that when they get that 1 or 2, 3 shots, they're knocking down 1 or 2 of them. And they're shooters, and they can. And, you know, we'll just keep working at it. Like I said, we're a working team. We're not a finished team.
What'd you say down the stretch? Because it seemed like they were making, like you said, NBA-type threes.
They made 2 NBA-type threes. That's what I saw. You know, I'm over there like y'all. But, you know, sometimes they're shooting them. I'm going, oh, my God, he's going to make it. And they did. What I saw, though, is just a little more toughness in our kids. We had 2 or 3 stops right at the end that we really applied. One went the full gamut of the shot clock. And we just applied a little bit more energy in our defense. And I thought we did a good job because they're athletic and long. They go back the board hard. It's physical in there. Thought OB and Nate, and I'm not sure exactly how many rebounds they got. What Nate had,
7 rebounds.
7, and Obina had
5.
5. And it seemed like he had a lot more. Must have been our guard, Connor had 8. You know, it's just, and that's an advantage, too, of a point guard at 6'10". You know, he's normally rebounding over smaller guys. He's in there. So, you know, again, I don't want to put too much in. It was a good win because they played extremely well. But we got to keep getting better at this game. And got a tough one coming up here, 4 o'clock on Saturday. And I hope we fill this place. You know, these guys play hard. They're Marshall kids that they'll play for Marshall. And win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw. I don't care. You know, it is a fun place to be, and I hope that they'll come out and support these guys.
When you're undefeated in conference play in the last few games, the last 7 minutes, you see a difference where they step up. And Cam mentioned the word resolve. What is it that they really flip the switch in the last final 7 minutes or so?
Well, when we first started, we weren't too good. And I coined the term resolve. I came up and said, y'all don't play with enough resolve. There ain't enough toughness in you guys. Y'all don't have enough resolve to win, to make the big play that changes things, that make things happen. And I don't see it in your eyes. I don't see it physically in your energy, and I don't see it in your eyes. Until we learn to get that resolve, you're not going to win, fellas. I don't care. You can play good, but if you don't got enough resolve, you ain't going to win. And I think they taken that word and kind of run with it, you know. And it's just a matter of, you know, and this team's getting it and come a long way. John Elmore was one of the best at that. He's just not going to let you lose. You know, he's going to come over there. We're winning this game. Tavion Kinsey started getting that. And this is a long line of teams that have been here, and this group is now picking it up. And you can see it in Cam's eyes. When he went out there, he's hunting that 3 to hit to beat them. And that's good. We got to get Jacob a little bit more of that. He's got to understand he can't be, you know, he can't like make it to where he's not involved in everything. I told him at halftime, Jacob, you got no points, no shots, nothing. I said, you got to be a little more aggressive, son. Get up in there and be a part. And you can tell when they throw the ball in bounds and they're on him, he'll throw it to Cam and drop down the floor. I don't mind that part, but he got to come back and get it. and then set us into what we're doing. But he would run off and be over the side. And Cam plays really hard. I don't know if y'all watching. If he has to do all the main ball handling and the running that he does defensively, and he has to go extra hard because he's 6 foot, he's not that big of an athlete, you know, he has to play twice as hard. Well, if he was doing all that stuff the whole ball game, by the end, I don't know that he has it left in his legs. So I told Jacob, you got to come out and start being a little more aggressive, son. You're letting the play go around you. And, you know, that's where we have to get better. I think we have to get better a little bit. Kevon making a couple of mistakes going down the wire, overplaying the game. And I think if they have to do all the game, we're much better. And I think we made the turn when Jacob started taking some of that load off both those two. And he started really being the main push and then kicking it to them and then letting them play. And we're better when that happened. We didn't do it quite as well as we should tonight, but like I said, we're a work in progress.
I mean, Tyron Moore, their number 12, had 34 tonight, which kind of kept everybody else in check.
Well, you can't everybody wants to say, what are you going to do to 34? Well, you stop 34 with a couple more assets or defensive moves. Well, the other guys aren't too bad. You make it easy for them. So the biggest thing to me, and I've always been like that, anybody that's a big-time scorer, you just got to make it hard on them. But you can't let anybody else get off. And if you go try to stop them, I'll give you a good example, Beach Ball Classic. So Morgan Wooten, DeMathis playing Raymond Felton, and Little Latta, maybe 300 people go to his school, out in the farmlands of South Carolina, just outside of Myrtle Beach, maybe 30, 35 minutes. And Morgan called me. He goes, he said, Coach, I know they got this guy named Raymond Felton. He said, how would you do that? We're thinking about running at him, getting double teaming him, and throwing get it out of his hands. And I said, well, Morgan, I don't know if I'd do that one. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, y'all a better team than they are. But if you do that, you're not better than Raymond Felton. And he will split those two, and those guys will be sitting in the corner draining them because you're loading them up. I just let Raymond get his and, play hard on everybody else. Shut up. You're a better team. You'll beat them. Well, there was another coach that coached in Florence, gave him a different scouting report. They double team, and Latta upset DeMathis. Now, he only had 24 points, but Latta won. So if he'd had 40 points, DeMathis would have won because he let it easy for guys who would have had a hard time. It made it easier for them, and they had good games. They hit shots. So, my philosophy is that you play them hard. Now, you can get to the end of a ball game. Sometimes you get to the end of a ball game, and you might have to go for a stop. You know what I mean? You might have to go double. Get it out of his hands. Don't let him score. I got that. But if you try to do it a whole ball game, you're probably going to get in trouble.
Thanks for
Go Herd.